Hey everybody, I just wanted to make a quick correction to what I mentioned in our lecture where we coded this mini website, where we got our hands dirty and coded up this website using HTML and CSS. I mentioned specifically on the blog post right here where I wanted margin 0, 10, 10, meaning 0 pixels on the top, 10 on the left and right, and 10 on the bottom. The reason why I wanted 0 pixels was because the blog post, I wanted to have 10 pixels on the bottom, but if I specified 10 pixels on the top as well, then effectively I said that this would have 20 pixels in between because there's 10 pixels on the bottom of this blog post and there's 10 pixels on the top of this blog post, therefore making this 20 pixels in between, and I didn't want that. However, I should have specified more clearly margins, vertical, like top and bottom margins. They are when there's adjacent elements, such as in this case, margins overlap. So having specified just 10 pixels all around would have just stayed the same. It would have been 10 pixels all around. You see it hasn't changed. And the reason why there isn't 20 pixels in between here is because the margins overlap on adjacent elements. If I were to have, say, 20 pixels on the bottom of this first blog post and say 30 pixels on the top of this blog post, you would think I would have 50 pixels in between, but that's not the case. If you have these adjacent elements and you have margins specified, it's going to default to the largest margin. So because, say, this blog post, this top one, if it had 20 pixels margin on the bottom, but this one had 30 pixels on the top, 30 pixels is a larger number, so the margin is going to default to that. So there will be 30 pixels in between. So I just wanted to specify, my bad, it was my mistake. So if you wanted to update your code, just say blog post have margin 10 pixels top, right, bottom, and left, then that'll work just fine. It will look perfect, and we're all good. So I'll see you in the next lecture.